skies. You give sight to the blind with other men's eyes. You make submarines stay submerged for weeks. But it don't make sense. You can't make peace. Majority of the people don't really understand the blues, and they don't know the blues are the facts of life. And if you'll look into just about all the songs involved in the blues, you'll find they're the facts of life of someone of the past or someone of the present, or some of the things we hope for the future.
No, yeah. That ain't right. That ain't right. Try it again. Hey, both guys.
The rhythm and the music of the blues is made only to get the attention of the people so that you can explain the story to them. Hold it just a second, hold it. I just want to tell you, I got a little idea of a little thing here I want you guys to do. It ain't nothing hard, but it's a thing right with an old boogie beat, and I want you to get ready while I got it in mind and while we can get it together. It goes where we just syncopating the number for 12 bars. Just one little syncopate for the whole 12 bars with the 3-bar changes, like da-bap, da-bap, da-bap. I've been involved in the blues ever since a kid, and I've done just about everything in the field. Compose, arrange, wrote, live the blues, and preach the blues, and try to make other people understand what the blues mean to them. You know, all right, now listen, let's start it from the top. Bigger than G. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Hold it. The first one is syncopated. Well, my father, he was a type of fella, he wasn't devoted to Christianity as my mother was. My mother was kind of devoted to Christianity, and she felt like anything that we sung that wasn't a spiritual song was considered as real, and that's what they called them. But my father, he sung some of everything, and he made his own songs just as I do today. In fact, he makes songs about the facts that exist around there at that particular time. Every morning, when we didn't have food to eat, why, he'd have to go hunting to sometime for us to get a meal. And when the minute we heard a shotgun go off, we knew it was meat on the table. And, well, when people would make songs out of these kind of things, why, other people would feel like, well, that don't mean nothing to them, but it meant so much to us, because if the dog didn't jump a rabbit in the morning, we didn't have nothing to eat. Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. That's me. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Well, my mother always wrote poetry, and so I figured that, you know, the things your parents do, most of the time you do them yourself. And I had the belief that if I wrote a lot of these poems and things, I would get a chance to sell them. And I had books of poems that I never got a chance to sell. And my mother came up with the idea maybe we could make some songs out of them. Yeah! All right. Little Brother Montgomery is the fellow that influenced me about music ever since I was a kid. In fact, far back as I can remember running behind Little Brother playing the piano on a flatbed truck, because they used to advertise a lot of dances where he would be playing. brother had been traveling all over everywhere anyway. He had his own band at a while, and then he was with other people's band. And when I got to Chicago, I happened to run down on Indiana one night, and there was little brother playing on the piano, and I had been knowing him all my life.
Yeah. You first. I've been thinking about going to St. Louis.
Well, I want to go to New Orleans.
What for?
Get me a job.
I can get a job in St. Louis.
Well, I still want to go to New Orleans.
I thought we was partners.
I still want to go.
All right, partner.
What your mother gonna say?
I ain't gonna tell her. All right, partner.
Cedric Johnson and I, we used to do just about everything together because we was schoolmates. It didn't take very long for me to say, let's go, and he was ready to go anywhere. You know, you think you're going a long ways because you're riding all day, and the train must have been doing about 30 miles an hour, and we rode all day. And I thought we should have been in Chicago, and we were still in Mississippi. And we got off the train, you know, all the other hobos and things getting off the train, going around the yard. Because if you go up in the yard, you were supposed to get arrested. So we got off to get around the yard. And that's when we was picked up by the police. And we didn't know there was police because they came along in a little raggedy car and picked us up and locked us up in a place and kept us all night. And next thing I knew, they had us sitting out on the county farm, Harvey Allen County Farm out from Greenville, Mississippi. Oh, those was the most horrible conditions I had ever thought of. In fact, I didn't know people got in that kind of condition, you know. I hadn't heard about, but I never saw anybody in stripes or something like that before, and men being beat and pushed around like that, and that was one of the worst things I'd ever saw in my life. Then it made me begin to thinking about all these various things that people was telling me about the rights and the wrongs of society, and the rights and the wrongs of life and living, and all like this. It made me think quite a bit about it. And so naturally, I feel like it had a great influence on my life because I know that I took everybody to be all nice people in the world, you know, and that was the first time I'd ever really saw anybody humiliated and treated that way. And I was supposed to have been driving this big old slide with the big barrel on it. And I just got on the mule and started riding. And rode on this mule a long time, you know. But the mule was smart. He wanted to circle back around and bring me back to the place, you know. So finally he threw me off, and I had to get in the river. Hey, you don't know it, too. You better teach me like I treat you. You say you're going to heaven, you look like hell. They put you in a hole almost into the well. I tell you why. It could be a lie. May not be no pie up in the sky when you die. How do you know the streets are paved with gold? No one come back to prove it's so. If you got a lot of gold with the angels and wings, by the time you get there, it may not be a thing. Now, hey, you don't know if it's true. You better treat me like I treat you. May not be no pie up in the sky when you die. My father died at that time, and I didn't know he was dead at the time, and I finally came on to Chicago But I had messed around everywhere before I came to Chicago and got with my sister. Most of the people in the South, especially the black people in the South, they was all bent on coming to Chicago anyway because they felt like opportunity was better here in Chicago. When I got to Chicago, I got involved in the fight game, and I fought a little while. I won the Golden Glove in 1937, and a little after I won the Golden Glove, then my manager and I got expelled from the fight game for fighting into the commissioner's office. And, well, this group that was hanging around all the time was always singing around there, this fellow Leonard Caston. And he played the guitar and would stand around the edge of the ring, and I'd hop over the ring side sometimes, sing with him. And so after I got expelled, they said, come go out with me. And I went out with him, and I haven't got back yet. Oh, yes, I can show you some of this. Hey, Shirley?
Yes.
Come here and bring me this scrapbook. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now, this is one of the groups that I got involved with after this. This is Five Breezes with Leonard Caston. He was the one that was on the side of the ring that used to get me involved. When I went to Europe, I played guitar as well as bass, you know, on some of the folk festivals. You know, we started the American Folk Blues Festival. And right here, this is when I had the group called the Four Jumps of Jive. We used to broadcast right up here on 55th Street at Garfield. We was practicing for the television even before television came on. After that, then I got involved with Memphis Slim. It was just the two of us. Now, when Chuck Berry here, when he first came to the chess studio in Chicago, he came up with this song, Maybelline and Wee Wee Hours. It turned out to be his first #1 hit. In fact, my band was the first band that was on the road with Chuck Berry. Oh, yes, they had a festival here in Montreal, Canada. This fella here, Doudou Ocel. This is me. Here's John Lee Hooker also. And Muddy Water. You know, Muddy Water always wanted me to write a song for him. And one night he was playing over on the west side. And I went over there with this song called Hoochie Coochie Man. And I didn't know whether he was going to like it or not, and he didn't either because he hadn't heard it. But anyway, after I got that with it, I told him, I said, look, I got the song for you, and when you come off the stage, why, we'll go to work on it. Man, what do you mean that ain't right? Look,
That ain't right.
look, will you do like I tell you to do it? Bam, 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 bam. Can you do that?
I'm trying to think about something else. All right,
Yeah, but
wait,
I don't want you to think about nothing. Think
All right.
about what I'm telling you.
Okay, all right.
Don't care what the way I sing or what I sing, you make the same riff.
I
Bam,
do.
bam, bam, bam.
Yeah, so let me hear it, and then I'll tell you. Let me see.
Bam, 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 bam. Come on.
Okay, all right.
If the woman told my mama before I was born, you got a boy
That ain't
child
right.
coming.
That ain't
Look, man,
right.
the trouble
That ain't
is,
right.
you ain't putting no guts in
Well,
there.
you ain't singing it right.
Don't
That's
tell me I
supposed
ain't
to be.
saying right. You think it's supposed to be one of them old 12-bar things
That's what
like a long
everybody-
time ago.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we changing this thing. Listen, no,
I ain't gonna even worry about it. You tell me how to go. I'm gonna play this like there ain't gonna be nothing anyway.
Well, that's right. Well, be someone else. If you just do like I tell you to do it. Every time somebody go to tell you, get something. Hey, man, where you going? Hey, boy, we business, man. Go on out there wherever you go.
I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it just like what you said. Now, just
all right, well, if you do like I tell you, we got
that's the way I'm going to do it.
All right, then let me hear you. Gypsy woman told my mama before I was born, you got a boy child coming, gonna be a son of a gun, gonna make these pretty women jump and shout, and the world wanna know what it's all about. Everybody knows out here. Well, I'm the hoochie coochie man. Everybody knows that I'm here. All right. When I'm at home, I compose just about all over the place, whenever I get an idea. But I think I write better at night when I can think better, because after everybody else gets quiet, then I can maneuver around and walk a little bit and think and sit down and think. Nod a while and get up and think again.
But he also writes on the telephone books, the TV guides, some of my bills, you know. Anything, you just put a couple of letters down on, you know, he jotted down on anything.
Well, you know how that is. Whenever you have an idea, you have to write it while you're thinking about it, because sometimes I have an idea, and if I don't get it down right away, it takes a long time for that same one to come back. I'll get others, but it won't be the same one. It looks like when I don't have nothing to write on, that's when I have the best ideas. So I just grab the telephone book, receipt, anything, you know, and start writing on it. The signifying monkey, I'll never forget it because I got a whipping about it. We was all at school one day, and the teacher walks out of the room. There was a fellow sitting right across from me. His name was Eddie Cooper. And he was a born cartoonist. This guy was a cartoonist from his heart. And he could always sit up, and you'd see him sitting down looking at somebody, and he's drawing a picture. And he always had an animal at this. And no kidding, you know, some people remind you of certain animals. And he always said that because I was a fat kid, I was the elephant. And there was another guy, there was another boy, T.W. Greer. He was a real skinny guy, and he called him a monkey all the time. And he had all these different animals for all the kids, but he'd sit up there all day and draw one little block on a tablet and another one, and write different things in there. Well, he had the whole schoolroom in an uproar because he was showing it to everybody, and you know how a bunch of kids laughing and running and hollering and raising hell. And when the teacher came back in the door, everybody started running. And I was the last one, got back in my seat, and she said, "Come here." And she took the rule, and she took the rule like this, up straight ways, and hit you on the leg like this. And because I was so tickled about it, I couldn't cry, you know, because I think about this monkey. There was a man down there. He had a little printing place on Cherry Street, and I got him to make me up some little slips like this with the signifying monkey on it. And when I came to Chicago, busted, stranded, taking a job anywhere, then I found out the people liked this. And I started letting other people have it. Then I got a fellow named Cool Breeze. He was used to sell song sheets up in front of South Center. And I would tell him, I said, "Man, we can sell a lot of them."
Now the lion jumps up all in a rage like a Harlem cat that's done blown his gauge. He comes across an elephant up under a tree and says, "Hey, big boy, it's gonna be you and me."
And I had me a landslide business going on. After I cleaned the song up and got most of the dirty words out of it, I recorded it. This was around 1945 or 46.
All go deep. And the monkey looked up with a coat in his eyes and said, if you want to hear how this song turned out, you got to buy the sheep. I got to make it, girl. You better come on, get it.
Hey, Teresa. Come here. Yeah, can you remember some of those fellows that I used to come by here quite often and talk to about going to Europe and all like that? In fact, I took Buddy Guy away from here. Junior Wells. Me and Memphis Sherman up here in Detroit, Junior.
Just about everybody was working there. You taking them away.
And you know what, if it hadn't have been for Teresa, we probably wouldn't have never had an American Folk Blues Festival, you know? Because anytime I got short of men, I could always come down here and find somebody groove.
Wait till I go home and steal them behind my back.
Thanks, you called me a thief.
Hey, boss, what's happening?
Hey, how you doing, lady?
Yeah, I'm sober.
Good, man. Hey,
Don't get one.
yeah. You sober, that's good. That's the first time I saw it sober.
Hey, what time we hitting, man? What time we hitting?
Hey, it's time now. You're late. You're already late.
Late.
Yeah, you should have been gone. Junior Wells. I sent him over to Europe, you know. This is one of the guys from down here.
That time has come. Let's welcome the master storyteller to the stage. I'm talking about the big boss band of the blues, Mr. Willie Dixon.
we just let it go on off and die, and nobody keep it up. Like Blind them and Jefferson and Sarah and all the people that have been all these things over years and years, nobody know about them. Their own people don't even know about them. And, you know, if we don't know about them and they belong to us, if we don't uphold our own principle and our own heritage, who will?
Sugar Hill way up in Harlem.
Harlem became the center of entertainment because of the fact that it was the only place in